Welcome learners.
In this video titled Tribes of Gujarat, Jharkhand and Orissa-IV, we shall be discussing about the major tribes of Orissa in detail.
True, we should be able to understand the socio-economic and cultural life of these tribes, analyze the challenges and opportunities for development of these tribal communities, and study the efforts of the governmental agencies and other stakeholders towards mainstreaming the tribes. The tribes of Orissa, nearly about 7 million, form a major portion of the total population of the state. All the districts of the state possess a tribal population. However, the districts of Rayagada, Koraput, Malkangiri, Naurangpur and Kalahandi have more than 50% as the tribal population. There are few tribes who are in a better economic condition, whereas several other tribes of Orissa spend a totally secluded life. In Orissa state, different tribes possess different tradition, culture, language and rituals. Linguistically, the tribes of India are broadly classified into 4 categories: Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Tibeto-Burmese and Austric. In Orissa, the speakers of the Tibeto-Burmese language family are nearly absent and the tribes belong to other 3 language families. The Indo-Aryan language family in Orissa includes Delki Oriya, Matia, Haleba, Jharia, Sonti, Laria and Oriya. The Austric language family includes 18 tribal languages, namely Birija, Parenga, Kisan, Bhumiji, Koda, Mahili Bhumiji, Mirda Karya, Olar Gadaba, Juang, Bondo, Didai, Karmali, Karya, Munda, Ho, Mundri and Savara. Within the Dravidian language family, there are 9 languages in Orissa, namely Pengo, Gondi, Kisan, Konda, Koya, Parji, Kui, Kui and Kuruk or Oran. Though the tribes belong to 3 linguistic divisions, yet they have lots of socio-cultural similarities amongst them. They are agricultural tribes. Kons are the largest tribal group in the state with population of over 1 million and carry out both settled and swidden cultivation.
Occupation.
The land use and tenure systems varies from tribe to tribe, but most tribes broadly cultivated 4 types of land: valley bottom, paddy lands or wetlands, homesteads, backyards, uplands and shifting cultivation fields. Tribal communities residing in the hilly areas of Orissa are adept in shifting cultivation. Some of the tribal people are also engaged in handicraft industries or mills. Among these tribal people, some tribes, namely the Gadaba tribe and Bondo tribe, possess their own looms and they are engaged in making clothes for regular use. Some tribal people like Lohras and Mohali have mastered the art of creating tool making and basket weaving, while some tribal communities, namely Oran, Munda, Santals and Ho, have switched to the factories, industrial occupations and works in mines. The traditional land tenure system of the different tribes has been dramatically modified by increasing pressure on land, reservation of forests, imposition of formal land tenure system and interaction with markets. A majority of the Orissa tribes has taken up other occupations to sustain livelihood like gathering, hunting and fishing. Though the tribal people of Orissa reside together, their cultural and traditional background is the major factors which distinguishes one tribe from another.
Let us discuss about the religion and festivals among tribal communities in Orissa.
Tribal communities of Orissa are very much religious minded and practice religion like animism, animalism, nature worship, fetishism and anthropomorphism. The tribes of Orissa also worship their ancestors. These Orissa tribes carry on their religious practices to ensure their happiness and personal security. The tribal people follow a large number of festivals including birth ceremony, harvesting, marriage, sowing, etc. with their tribal dances and songs. In such festivals, one of the most important ways of rejoicing is the consumption of mahua liquor. Their local and tribal deities are worshipped by sacrificing animals. The tribal people are superstitious and they take the Oja of their community seriously to get rid of evil spirits. The well-known festivals of the tribes of Orissa are Push Parab and Chaitra Parab. In these festive days, all able tribal men of the village set out for a hunting expedition.
Dress plays a crucial role in the lives of tribal communities.
One of the most important things in the costumes of the tribal people of Orissa is metal jewelry. Most of the jewelry is made of aluminum and brass. Tattooing is practiced among the people of the tribal groups. Women wear long clothes, scarves and jewelry to adorn themselves.
What about the tribal society and tradition?
The overall kinship system of the tribes may be labeled as classificatory. Descent and inheritance are patrilineal. Among the tribes, there is very little specialization of social rules. There is very little rigid stratification in society. The tendency towards stratification is gaining momentum among several settled agricultural tribes under the impact of modernization. The tribes of Orissa are now at different levels of socio-economic development. Shifting cultivation is not only an economic pursuit of some tribal communities, but it accounts for their total way of life. Their social structure, economy, political organization, and religion are all accountable to the practice of shifting cultivation. In the past, land in the tribal areas had not been surveyed and settled. Therefore, the tribal freely practiced shifting cultivation in their respective habitats, assuming that land, forest, water, and other natural resources belonged to them. The pernicious yet unavoidable practice of shifting cultivation still continues, unchecked, and all attempts made to wean away the tribal from shifting cultivation have so far failed. However, in the recent times, a sizable agglomeration of tribal population in Orissa has moved to mining, industrial and urban areas for earning a secure living through wage labor. During the past 3 decades, the process of industrial urbanization in the tribal belt of Orissa has been accelerated through the operation of mines and establishment of industries. Mostly persons from advanced tribal communities such as Santal, Munda, Ho, Oran, Kisan, Gond, etc. have taken to this economic pursuit in order to relieve pressure from their limited land and other resources. In some instances, industrialization and mining operations have led to uprooting of tribal villages, and the displaced have become industrial nomads. They have lost their traditional occupation, agricultural land, houses, and other immovable assets. They have become unemployed and are forced to face unfair competition with others in the labor market and are sometimes frustrated. Customs and norms and social integration continue to be achieved through their traditional political organizations. The tributary institutions of social control such as family, kinship, and public opinion continue to fulfill central social control functions. The relevance of tribal political organization in the context of economic development and social change continues to be undiminished. And as the traditional leaders continue to wield influence over their fellow tribesmen, it is worthwhile to take them into confidence in the context of economic development and social change.
Cyclic rights.
As most of the tribes of Orissa practice agriculture in some form or the other, sowing, planting, first fruit eating and harvest rites being common amongst them, their common cyclic rites revolve around the pragmatic problems of ensuring a stable economic condition. It involves restoration of the declining fertility of soil, protection of crops from damage, human and livestock welfare, safety against predatory animals and venomous reptiles, and ensuring a good yield of annual and perennial crops. The annual cycle of rituals begins with the clearing of hill slopes during the Hindu month of Chaitra and Baisakh. The annual cycle of rituals begin with the clearing of hill slopes during the Hindu month of Chaitra between March and April, and Baisakh between April and May. all the rituals centering agricultural operation are observed by the members of a village on a common date which is fixed by the village headman in consultation with the village priest. The ideological system of all the tribes surrounds supernaturalism. The pantheon in most cases consists of the sun god, the mother earth, and a lower hierarchy of gods. Besides, there are village tutelaries, nature spirits, presiding deities and ancestor spirits which are also propitiated and offered sacrifices. Gods and spirits are classified into benevolent and malevolent categories. A peculiarity of the tribal mode of worship is the offering of blood of an animal or a bird because such propitiations and observance of rites are explicitly directed towards happiness and security in this world, abundance of crops, livestock, plants and progenies. Sickness is not natural to a tribal. It is considered as an outcome of the machination of some evil spirits or indignation of ancestor spirits or gods. Therefore, riddance is sought through propitiation and observance of rituals. Among all the tribes in Orissa, conformity to customs and norms and social integration continues to be achieved through their traditional political organizations. The tributary institutions of social control such as family, kinship and public opinion continue to fulfill central social control functions.
Major tribes of Orissa.
The major tribes of Orissa are Bonda Poraja tribe, Bunjia tribe, Bagata tribe, Chenchu tribe, Dal tribe and Darua tribe. Let us discuss a few major tribes in the following section.
Bonda Poraja tribe.
Bonda Poraja tribe of Orissa, reckoned as primitive tribes, are the scheduled tribes present in the southwestern province of Orissa, especially in the rugged and mountainous regions of Malkangiri district. They are identified by the names of Rimo, Bonda, Bondo. Rimo means people in the Bonda language. In fact, Bonda Poraja speaks with each other in a language which falls into Munda group of the broad language family of Austro-Asiatic group. According to the study made by anthropologists and scholars, the Bonda Porajas are considered descendants of Austro-Asiatic tribes. Bonda Poraja tribes have unique style of dressing which emphasizes the rich heritage of their culture and ethnicity. They are in general found to be semi-clothed. Ornaments play a great role in the attire of the Bonda tribes. They wear broad silver necklace bands which also embellish their beauty to a great extent. The people of this tribal community prefer to apply castor oil. The people of this tribal community prefer to apply castor oil in their head. Some of the people of this community are adept in creating artworks, like many of the tribal women create beautiful worldly paintings. The Bonda Poraja tribes are agrarian people and even the ladies help the men in cultivation. What is really interesting about these Bonda Poraja tribes is that they have retained their originality, conserved their heritage due to their exclusion. Another reason drawing the attention of almost all the anthropologists of the country is that the Bonda tribes are among the few tribes of India who till date follow the Binimoy Protha, signifying the give and take policies, and they frequent the local markets for carrying out these activities. There is a custom prevalent in this tribal community that the bride has to be older than the groom. The Bondas celebrate different festivals with great merriment. Among these festivals, Patkanda Yatra is worth mentioning.
Bunjia tribe.
Bunjia tribe, an ancient tribe of Orissa, is a small Dravidian tribal group basically found in the Nuapada district of the state. They are known to be a subdivision of Halbas of Bastar, who ran away from Bastar as a result of a clash with the Dakars. The people of this tribal group converse in Halbi language, which is an amalgamation of Marathi language, Chhattisgarhi language and Oriya language. Apart from this, the Bunjia tribal communities are also found in several districts like the Kalahandi district. The Bunjia tribe has two branches, namely Chinda and Chaukutia. The Chindabunjia people are the inhabitants of plain areas while the Chindabunjia people are the inhabitants of plain areas while the Chaukutia Bunjias reside in the hilly areas of Sunabeda Plateau. Since the topography of the region is quite rugged, having hills, mountains and also dense forest areas, the Bunjia tribes have settled down in a scattered manner in their villages. Just like any other tribe of the mountainous region of India, the Bunjia tribes too have adopted the profession of shifting cultivation. They have also learned to sustain their living by gathering and selling non-timber forest products in the local markets. The costumes of Bunjia tribal people are colorful and attractive. The men of this tribal group generally wear a piece of cloth and shirt. Saris and different jewelries made of glass, coils, beads, brass, silver and aluminum adorn the women of this community. Ornaments like bangles, earrings, necklace, anklets, etc. are some of the jewelries used by the women. Bunjia tribes are quite conservative and traditional. Moreover, it has also been said that the Bunjia tribal community has a kinship with the Gond tribe. The Bunjia people have marital relationship with the Gond people and marriages also take place among the cross cousins of the community. The Bunjia society is patriarchal. Generally, the Bunjia tribal people duly follow the structure of nuclear family with a monogamous form of marriage. The pious nature of these tribes has a plethora of gods and goddesses whom they worship them for the sake of the well-being and prosperity of their society. In the month of Chaitra, the tribal people offer goats and coconuts to their principal deity. In the month of Chaitra, the tribal people offer goats and coconuts to their principal deity, Sunade, and their priest, better known as Pujari, who carries on the religious rites. Festivals too are a part and parcel of these Bunjia tribes. Except Holi, these tribes celebrate almost all the other Indian festivals with great fervor and enthusiasm. These Bunjia tribes follow the traditional system with the formation of village council as the key unit of village administration. An important aspect of Bunjia tribal society is the status of their women. In fact, the Bunjia tribes have a very stringent set of rules in order to govern a woman's life. It is said that women are not permitted to consume food from outside and there is no such restriction for the male folks.
Bhagata tribe.
Bhagata tribes are regarded to be one of the aboriginal tribes and also are one of the scheduled tribes of India. The tribal communities reside in different sectors of Orissa and apart from that, they are also found in Andhra Pradesh. This tribal community is also known by the names of Bhagata, Bhakta, Bhagat, Bagodi or Bogad. The Bhagata tribes have undertaken the profession of farming in order to sustain the requirements of their day-to-day living. Festivals, dance as well as musical bonanza make the culture of these Bhagata tribes. Special mention may be made about the Dimsa dance practiced in the Bhagata tribal society. It is a dance form where Bhagata tribes of all ages starting from 8 to 80 participate quite energetically. During the months of Chaitra, the Bhagata tribes dance on occasions of marriages and also at joyful social functions. The unique feature of Dimsa dance is that it spreads the spirit of friendship and alliance between the people residing in the nearby villages. Since this is a traditional form of dance of the Bhagata tribe, the female folks dress up in distinctive tribal clothes and also wear beautiful ornaments. All the Bhagata dancers dance in the rhythm of Mori, Kiridi, Tudumu, Dappu and Jodukomulu. Most of the Bhagata tribes are Hindus and they also worship Hindu gods and goddesses along with their tribal deities. The people of Bhagata tribe interact with each other in the corrupted form of Oriya language, though their main language is Telugu. Adivasi Oriya is their local dialect. Just like any other tribal community of Orissa, there is the prevalence of the structure of social hierarchy amongst the Bhagata tribe.
Economic indicators of development of the tribes in Orissa are poor and that have caused acute poverty conditions.
There are also a number of social conditions of deprivation that tend to perpetuate poverty, which in turn hold back social development. This is a kind of vicious circle which calls for stepping up investment in productive sectors to increase the pace of growth and improve the economic and social well-being of the poor. Therefore, the state has to make a longitudinal perspective plan for the transformation of the subsistence-oriented backward agricultural economy in order to solve the problem of poverty and to improve the quality of life of tribal people. These strategic plans, which are being implemented for overall development of the tribal communities, are known as Integrated Tribal Development Agency, Special Micro Project, Modified Area Development Agency, Cluster Approach and Dispersed Tribal Development Program. Apart from giving financial assistance, the state has enacted various laws to safeguard the interest of the tribals in respect of the land alienation, indebtedness, exploitation, protection of their civil rights, reservation of vacancies in public sector posts and services, abolition of bonded labor system, protection of tribal rights over forest producers, etc. The state has commenced the process of democratic decentralization by extending the Panchayati Raj Act to scheduled areas and in empowering the tribal through Gram Sabha. It is observed that by and large the benefits of constitutional privileges for the scheduled tribes of Orissa are yet to be realized. Thus, Orissa has been showing its commitment to provide protective measures to the tribal people for their development. Thank you.